Why were you given the nickname the Fixer, Dave? What could you see, or how could you make things happen that others sometimes could not? Like what, there's a skill in that, obviously.
Well, I think that one of the things that that allows you to do this is to have a basic um, admiration for the needs of others. Now, that may sound, too. Everybody has a reason for being. Everybody has some thing that they consider valuable, and you need to know what that is. You need to be able to assuage their fears and get them to understand where you're coming from and why.
Yep.
And I was once asked by Deputy Secretary of Defense Paul Wolfowitz. He said, how do you get things done? And I said, I learned the names of secretaries and administrative assistants because they're the ones who know what's going on. And they're the ones, who will help you. If you don't come across arrogant and you try to get things done that will, first of all, be a benefit. I mean, and when I say that, I don't mean, to the benefit of yourself. It has to be the benefit of the organization. Interesting story. I went into the office one day when I was Secretary Wolfowitz's special assistant. They're now called chiefs of staff, but it was special assistant then. And he said, "Here, I have this article." And he shows me this article. It's about 2 column inches worth of the Marines in Iraq who are worried about their interpreter. And her name was Sally. And her father had taken out a hit on her because she was the interpreter for the Marines. That effectively was all I had. That was the essence of the amount of information. And he looks at me, he says, "Let's see if we can't get her back here to the United States." Okay. All right. Do we know what unit this Marine is? No, it doesn't say, but we'll find that out. Okay. So I went back to my office and I had a military assistant. And I said, "So we have a challenge here. And what's your plan, Jeff? What's your plan for getting it done?" And so we sat down and we thought, well, first of all, we got to find out, who this, what this unit is. So we went to the Navy information office and to ask if they could figure out how to sort this all out. And then lo and behold, they came back and said, "Oh yeah, this is the unit." And so then we were able to talk directly with the unit, going through the chain of command, and learned about this lady's predicament. And so then I thought, if we go ahead and we, just write her some orders and pop her on an airplane and send her back, we are going to really tick off a lot of agencies here in Washington, D.C. We best not do that. And so I called up the director of the Immigration and Naturalization Service. And I said, here's our dilemma. I'd like you to come over to the Pentagon and we can sit and noodle through this in a conference room. Would you be up for that? And apparently it's the first time anybody had ever actually gone to the people whose responsibility it is to do these things. So they came over and we talked, and they said, "So I would really appreciate it if you would take the lead on cutting through all of the things that need to be cut through in order to get her here." And about 3 months later, I had the privilege of walking into Wolfowitz's office and say, "Sir, I'd like you to meet Sally."